So apparently rooftop tents are dead. Talon Sei said it on TikTok, so you know it's on the internet, so it must be real. Of course, he said this as he's standing in front of a hammock contraption that's on the front of his truck. So I don't know. Hey everybody, welcome to All Over Overland. My name is Michael, and we're going to talk a little bit about a guy I I follow. I don't know him. I've never met him. I feel like I know him because he has 550,000 subscribers and he makes videos a lot. Recently got married, went to Alaska, so I got to see some of that. Was kind of fun to watch. But Talon Sei said that rooftop tents are dead. Crazy? Probably. He is kind of crazy. He makes really good videos, and if you haven't checked him out and you're in the overlanding or car outdoor area, like you like that stuff, you need to check him out. It's totally worth it. He's got really great content. I'm kind of giving him a hard time right now because he said something silly, but I think it was meant to be somewhat tongue-in-cheek. He was standing in front of a hammock that's on the front of the truck, and although kind of cool, I don't think that'll ever replace a rooftop tent. I just don't. I don't think so. I think they're too big and bulky, and which is funny because, like, what's a tent? But the tent goes on top, so I think it makes way more sense. But yeah, he was talking about how rooftop tents are dead and that there are other things that are going to be replacing those. I don't think so. I think that tents are the heartbeat of overlanding, especially the rooftop tents, and I think that there's nothing cooler than having a treehouse on your truck, and you can just pull into camp and open it up and crawl in. Now there's different styles of rooftop tents. So you've got the clamshell, which takes about 5 to 10 minutes to set up. They're typically less expensive. At the $1,000 range is about where they start, maybe even $800 if you get it on a sale. I've seen that price before for Smittybilt, but that could have been pre-COVID. I'm old. I'm sorry. It's just the way that works. And then you've got the harder shell kind of tents like mine, which is a quick pitch rooftop tent, just like the alley cab. And there's several that are in the same kind of style. It's a wedge tent, and setup time is like a minute, maybe. But they range in that like $2,500 to $4,000 range. So you do pay a little bit of money, but it's a pay once, cry once kind of situation when it comes to rooftop tents. You're gonna, if you go camping more than twice a year, I'd invest in one. I think they're awesome, especially if you're into this lifestyle at all. Now, if you're not, then get a hammock and tie it up to a couple of trees and you're fine. Oklahoma's kind of funny because if you have a hammock, you're gonna be spinning a bunch. Now, I've done the hammock thing. Molly and I used to camp in a hammock quite a bit before we had a rooftop tent or anything other than the Jeep Liberty that I had. But things change, and I want a rooftop tent because they're not dead. They're so awesome. They're so cool. They're pretty cool. Let's see what else we got. So he said that rooftop tents were dead, and there's actually numbers that back the opposite of that rooftop tents are actually thriving. 2023, $1.2 billion in sales for rooftop tents, and then they expect that in 2032 that number is actually going to double, if not even go up higher. The whole outdoor segment as a whole has been a buyer frenzy right now, with people going out and buying products, buying things to get out there, whether you're camping, overlanding, hunting, fishing, just getting outside. The things all kind of align and cross together. They kind of lap over each other. So I don't think they're going to be dead. I think that there are companies that are going to die out, yes, because that's just the evolution of business. And as you have some companies that can't keep up, they're going to fall to the side, where your bigger companies that have the money, the power, all the energy are going to continue to grow and thrive. They're going to push the limits of what a rooftop tent is. We've seen some new things come out recently. Roof Nest has a few cool things out there, and it's just somewhat evolving. Now, I will say there's not a whole lot you can do with a rooftop tent that hasn't been done already. Maybe somebody will think of something else. They've even come up with hard-sided. So like on a wedge style like mine, you actually have hard walls on the sides and the back, which is kind of nice if you're somewhere close or there's a lot of crazy wildlife around, bears and whatnot. Makes you feel a little bit better. Probably won't really save you, but makes you feel a little bit better. And a bear likes a challenge, so just keep that in mind. But there's no challenge in a hammock. That's like candy that you just take the wrapper off for a bear. So yeah, it was a silly thing that Talon said, I think. But it generated a lot of comments on his TikTok and somebody like me making a video talking about it, because I thought it was interesting that he said that they were dead. And then as I started thinking about it, he's not 100% wrong, but he's way off. I know that contradicts itself, but that's kind of what I do most of the time. And how that is that those companies are falling off. 4x4 Colorado is a company that was doing really well, we thought, and kind of really running at it. I saw them at a couple of different events, and I liked their product. It looked like it was made good. I haven't heard anybody complain about the quality of the product, but then all of a sudden I heard that people weren't getting paid, companies weren't getting paid that were selling the tents, and then people weren't getting their orders filled. So that's a problem. And I think we're gonna find out there's a supply chain issue. They're probably getting more things from overseas than we like to think or admit. I mean, most rooftop tents are made overseas and then shipped over here for us to buy. China, thank you very much, I guess. But with the tariffs, the prices are gonna be a little weird. They just are. Or you're just not gonna be able to get them because companies aren't gonna be willing to spend the tariff price to get them sent over here. So will there be more tents made in the United States? I don't know, maybe. But people that want them are still gonna pay for them. I know that I love mine. I can't imagine camping any different way. Yeah, I can. Slide-in camper, canopy camper, Tune M1, Radica Moonlander. Like, there's other options out there for sure. But I do like my quick pitch. And unless I just run into some money or luck, this is the way I'm gonna camp for probably the foreseeable future. It's perfect for me. It really is. It's easy to set up. It's out of the way. I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to get to camp and go, I gotta set up the hammock. I get up to camp and I go, oh, okay, pop, 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 and I'm going to bed. So you're never gonna get around that. Makes it the best. And again, it's a dang treehouse on your truck. There's nothing cooler than that. There really isn't.